This week, the Morrison government announced it was launching a review into TikTok. Now, if you're over the age of 20, you probably have no idea what TikTok is. But if you're under that age, you're probably part of the TikTok craze that's seen 1.6 million Australians download the video and music sharing app. So why has TikTok become a political football, you ask? Well, like so many things in Australian politics these days, it all comes back to China. Now, I'm not against the government doing a review of TikTok, nor the second review that's being undertaken by a parliamentary committee into TikTok doing basically exactly the same thing. But we do need to keep some perspective here. TikTok is a fun app where kids make short videos of themselves, lip-syncing to pop songs, dancing or doing something funny. They then share it with their friends. Now, TikTok is not owned by the Chinese Communist Party. It's a privately owned, independent tech startup that happens to be based in China. TikTok says its app is not invasive. The data is secure and does not go back to China. But this has not stopped security experts making a range of claims against TikTok. For example, they say that they could hack our phones. They say that TikTok could be used for fraud by using face recognition software. It's even been said that TikTok has the power to create celebrities, such as the craze, which those celebrities could then be used to influence our democratic elections. Really? The Australian government should have a requirement that no user data is sent back to Beijing and put in place a mechanism for monitoring this. But here's the rub. The Australian government should require all social media platforms to meet a higher standard. Facebook, Google, Instagram, Twitter, they're all spying on us. They're all gathering data about us off our phones. They're all sending that data offshore and they're all pushing targeted information at us based on surveillance of us, usually to try and make us buy something that previously we may not have even known we really wanted. So look, I welcome this review, but let's make it a level playing field review. And let's not go and create yet another flashpoint with China unless there is a very good and proven reason to do so. And let's not forget that Australia's relationship with China is mutually beneficial to both of us. Australia is financially and culturally richer and better because of it. So let's keep our heads when it comes to TikTok for our own sake. Gemma, I'm sure you're not going to hold back on this one. What do you think?
Oh, I might surprise you, Nick. I might surprise you that I'm actually not in firm disagreement with you. So, no, I haven't been kidnapped. That's not a cry for help. I think that for me, the whole issue around social media security on a broad level is personal responsibility. Yes, the federal government has a degree of responsibility for cybersecurity at a broad level, but when it comes to apps like TikTok, like Twitter even, we saw that was hacked during the week, Facebook, anything like that, you go into that as a functioning adult knowing that there is a degree of risk having an app on your phone provided by some third party, whether it's Mark Zuckerberg or a company based in China. There is a degree of risk, and for me it comes down to personal security. I don't have TikTok, which, if you know me well enough, is a surprise because that would really waste a lot of my time when I'm procrastinating. I just feel like we can't say the government needs to do everything. There needs to be a degree of personal responsibility. I haven't downloaded it for a variety of reasons, one of which is the security question in the back of my mind. So not in violent disagreement with you, Nick, on this one, but I do believe that we all need to go into these apps and load on our phone things, understanding that there is a degree of risk. It's a trusting God, lock your car situation. Always have your insurance, but keep your car locked.
Very insightful and thoughtful comments there, Gemma. What about you, Catherine?
I'm programmed to disappoint you, Nick. As you know, I'm a Wolverine and you're a panda hugger. But I'm worried about you, champ. You've been in lockdown too long, seriously. Like, I need to come down to Melbourne with a food package for you or something and break the ISO. If you're on TikTok, like, get a life, champion. This is seriously... You know, you're more worried about the Queen interfering in Australia in 1975 than you are China in 2020. Goodness me. There are no innocent applications that have any links to China. That's that. Let's not mince words on this. There are no private Chinese companies. Any business that has substantial operations or footprint in the People's Republic is controlled by the PLA. End of section. I'm with Gemma. It is appropriate to be vigilant about any technology. Facebook's the same, Twitter's the same. We are putting volumes of stuff into the ether. You can't have a private conversation. The presumption is every conversation you have on your mobile phone goes into the ether and is probably swept up by a number of powers with the capability to do it. So I'm not quite sure what your point is, but I am very worried that you found this darn thing.
Look, I do have a couple of kids that are
go to the jigsaw puzzles,
probably a
mate.
bit addicted to TikTok. It is a craze. But look, where does this stop? Okay, so we've seen, Huawei not allowed to tender for telecommunications infrastructure in Australia.
Well,
TikTok is interesting because it's probably the most successful Chinese app in that it's got an international audience. There's others like WeChat and Weibo, which are Chinese-owned, but mostly used by Chinese speakers. TikTok is distinct because kids around the world are playing on it. But, I mean, what are you suggesting, Catherine, that we should actually ban the kids from playing TikTok? Is that where this goes to?
I'm not suggesting that. I'm not suggesting anything. I make a very direct statement that I find it puzzling. You can be alarmed about Buckingham Palace 1975 and not alarmed about Beijing 2020, in that you're saying they're a valued partner and using language that has been debunked by their behaviour in the last 6 months.
Gemma, what do you think? Should there be some special standards for Chinese apps compared to all the others that we use on our phones?
No, and I say that hesitantly because I think if you're going to be vigilant about cybersecurity, you're vigilant about all cybersecurity, because the reality of it is you can't predict specifically where a risk is going to come from. We are aware of the situation, where China is concerned. But no, in my view, Nick, it has to be a broad-based platform. And if there's a standard by which companies have to comply, then it needs to be across the board. You can't say, a UK app doesn't have to be vigilant, or it doesn't have to meet a certain standard, but an app from China does. Everybody meets the same standard. That's what I think.
And again, Nick, not trying to be deliberately provocative, but even Malcolm Turnbull is horrified at Nick Xenophon's conduct about Huawei. That's one of the wettest of the wet former Liberals. Can see the issue with Huawei. The Five Eyes powers are unanimous about it. It's a no-brainer. Dragging them in does you little credit on TikTok, frankly.